Hey everybody, this is Peter with Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today I'm coming to you with a digital adaptation playthrough. I'm going to be doing the tutorial for Concordia Digital Edition by Ephraim Games, and we've done a couple of these for Ephraim Games before. We've played a little bit of Charterstone, and 8-Minute Empire, and Steam Rails to Riches. And I'm really excited because in December they've got Unmatched, the digital edition, coming out as well. I'm a big fan of the Unmatched board game, so I'm looking forward to that. But today we're going to be focusing, like I said, on the tutorial for Concordia Digital Edition. And if you've not played Concordia before, Concordia is a really, really interesting Euro game. I like it a lot. I've played it a few times on Tabletop Simulator with some of the guys from Tabletop Gaming Guild. I have also played it in person with the guys from Tabletop Gaming Guild. It was one of the two games that when we last got together to play in person, we played this and we played Blood Rage. So that kind of lets you know where it is. I think for our group, it's definitely one of those games that's high up on our list of games that we really, really like and we really enjoy. So I think it says a lot that it's one of the games that we played when we got together in person for the first time in quite a while. So, but let's go ahead and jump into this game. The animation here on the screen is good. Not a whole lot going on here, but we got a little bit of animation. I do like the music. I feel like Ephraim always knocks the music out of the park. But I'll be interested to see what happens as we play through the tutorial. All right. Do a little setup here. Welcome to Concordia Digital Edition, a deck builder strategy game with hand management mechanics. Your cards are the actions you can perform each turn. Each turn you play one card. In this tutorial, I will tell you about the game interface and some of the card actions. So let's real quick take a look. I'm going to scroll out so we can get a good look at the map. So we are playing over in, the map is of Europe over here. We've got a little bit of England or Britannia up in here on the northwest, and then we've got Hispania, so Spain. We've got Italia, Italy. Asia's over here in the west, and if we go down a little bit, we actually dip down as well into Africa. So the map is of this European area around the Mediterranean Sea, and in the game we are going to be playing as travelers who can go across land, and ships that can go across the ocean to these different ports where we will gain goods and we will turn them in for points. And like the tutorial is telling us here, is these cards are the different actions that we can take, and on each turn we will play one card to do one action. And we will gain more cards as we play, since it's a deck builder. You can find your Sisteri counter and your storehouse in the player panel. So let's see here. Oh, yep, down here at the bottom. I got it highlighted for us. Looks like we have 16 Sisteri or Sistertii, or however you want to say this word. And then it looks like we have 2 sea colonists and we have 2 land colonists. And we start with a little bit of goods here as well. Your storehouse stores your goods and your unrecruited colonists. When you recruit a colonist by placing them on the board, you free an additional storage slot. That's also correct. You have a limited amount of storage to carry all of your goods. You start the game with 2 of your colonists on the board inside the starting city. So we start with the game in Roma, and we have 1 land colonist and we have 1 sea colonist. Land colonists are displayed on the left, sea colonists on the right. Every turn, each player plays a card to perform its action. Remember that once played, cards are discarded into your personal discard pile. You can reclaim them by playing the tribune card. So when you play the tribune card, that's going to be your call back all of your other cards action. Play the architect card to perform move and build actions. So down here, we have the architect card. And if we hover over it, it says move your colonists. You have 1 move for each colonist placed on the board. Then build in cities adjacent to your colonists. You can also, after the architect card, let's see what's next. Oh, no, it actually wants me to go ahead and play it. So I guess I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab the card, lift it up here. Looks like there's a little spot over here maybe for me to drop the card. See, move your colonist and build cities adjacent. Oh, this is just looking through my deck. We have the prefect card, which is produce in an active province, gain a good from a bonus marker, or reactivate all provinces to take coins as a cash bonus. We've got the mercator card, or mercator card. Take 3 sestertii and trade up to 2 types of goods. The diplomat is use an opponent's personality card on top of their discard pile. So whatever previous card one of your opponents has played, you can duplicate that by playing the diplomat. And senator, you can purchase up to 2 new personality cards and put them into your hand. And that's, again, the deck building part of the game. As you gain these personalities, that's going to affect the end game scoring and how often you can take the same action before having to play the tribune card to get your cards back. And then again, the tribune card is take back all your personality cards to gain 1 sestertii for each card taken in excess of 3. Include the tribune card in the count. In addition, you can place 1 colonist in the starting city for 1 wheat and 1 iron. So we're back to the beginning with the architect cards there. So they want us to play the architect card to perform and build the action. So I'm going to click on it. And then down here in the bottom right, we've got a little check mark. I'm going to check that. And we have now played the architect card. The starting city on the board is highlighted. Select to see the range of movement of your colonist inside the city. Oh, interesting. All right, so I click on the city itself, and we can see these little dotted lines. So the first colonists need to exit the city into a line between 2 cities. From now on, the colonist moves following the lines. Each move requires 1 movement point. Every colonist on the board generates 1 movement point. You can see your available movement points in the player panel. You can distribute the movement points between your colonists as you see fit. Land colonists can only move on the land lines, brown, while sea colonists can only move on the sea lines, blue. Colonists can pass each other, but they can't finish their turn on a line already occupied by another colonist. Move 1 land colonist and 1 sea colonist to the marked lines. Okay. So see, it's graying out this next, so it won't let me do it until I do the thing that it wants me to do. It's got the arrows pointed down to where they want me to go. So I will move my land colonist to that location and move 1 land colonist and 1 sea colonist to the marked line. So click over here. There we go. And the sea colonist has moved as well. So the confirm button is in the bottom right corner of the screen. Depending on the game phase, it can be in different states. Give you a hint. So it looks like that. Confirm an action or end a turn. Okay. Confirm your move action by with the confirm button and proceed to the build action. So that's right. So the architect does 2 things. I get to move and then I get to build. The sestertii cost of building increases with the number of houses already constructed in that city. The second house in a city costs twice as much sestertii, the third 3 times as much, and so forth. Each player can have only 1 house in each city. Build a house in a wine-producing city that is cheaper to build in. You can only build houses in cities adjacent to the lines with your colonists. So again, you're limited by where your colonist is. But right now we want to build a house in a wine-producing city that is cheaper to build in. So let's see here. So the wine, we can see here, we've got 2 options. We have Massilia or Navaria. And it looks like it's going to be more expensive currently to build in Navaria because it's going to cost 8 sestertii and a brick and a wine. But Massilia is a brick, a wine, and only 4 sestertii. So we're going to click on there. Get this nice little building icon that popped up underneath, and I can do the confirmation button. I have confirmed our build, and now it's ending turn. And the AI is going to take a little turn there. And now it's telling me to play the prefect card to start a production in a province. Okay. So I'm going to grab the prefect card. I'm going to click on that. And again, this is going to allow us to produce in an active province, gain a good from a bonus marker, or reactivate all provinces to take coins as a cash bonus. We want to go ahead and produce an active province. And this lists all of the active provinces. Let's see here. Province summary, your production. So, yeah. Active provinces. The production action can only be performed on active provinces. To maximize your gain, choose a province with your house in it. So the only house that we currently have, you can see here, is the Massilia. So how do we choose that location? Gallia is where we currently are. So I click on Gallia up here. During the production action, all houses in one province generate a good. That includes your opponent's houses as well. So the player who used the production action additionally receives the province's bonus good. You can see the bonus good on the province's bonus marker, its banner. So, yeah, so it looks like the province good is another wine. So I should be gaining 2 wine in this location. Prefectus Magnus influences the production action. Initially, Prefectus Magnus card belongs to the player whose turn is last. Once used, the card goes to the second to last player, and so forth. If the player has the Prefectus Magnus card during production they initiated, they receive 1 additional good from the province's bonus marker. So they would gain 2 wine. So if I have the Prefectus Magnus card, I would be gaining 3 wine on this turn. And we're going to go ahead and confirm the production action. And don't forget, you can only hold so many things in your storage. The province activated by the production action becomes inactive. The bonus good is replaced with Sestertii symbol, and we end our turn. Alright, so it's back to our turn. If a player chooses to use the prefect to reactivate a province, they receive the sum of all Sestertii on all the bonus markers. Then all inactive provinces become active again. So up at the top here of our province summary, we can see that the inactive provinces are going to gain somebody 5 Sestertii right now if they were to just reactivate all of the provinces. Play the prefect card to reactivate provinces and finish your turn. So they're going to have me go ahead and do that. Get 5 Sestertii. Play the prefect card, and we finish the turn. Confirm that. Another way to acquire Sestertii is to trade with goods. Playing the mercator card or the mercator card gives the player some Sestertii and allows you to perform 2 transactions. One transaction allows to purchase or sell any number of a single type of good. All right. During the game, arrows informing you of changes to your goods will appear above the storehouse. So that's got like going out or coming in. Play the mercator card and buy and or sell some goods, then finish your turn. Choose 1 good you want to buy or sell. Again, not really paying super close attention right now, just because we're following along with the playthrough here, the tutorial. But normally I'd be wanting to see, where am I planning on going next? What goods is it going to cost me to build a house in that location? Right now I've got some wheat, I've got some iron, I've got some wine, and I've got some cloth. So if I would sell, choose 1 good you want to sell. Cloth would get me 7 Sestertii, wine's going to get me 6. I've got a lot of wine, so I'm going to choose to sell some wine. And I'm going to sell 2 of them, so I can get 12 Sestertii. And choose 1 good you want to buy or sell. So that's what I did there. I don't have any brick. And you definitely need brick. So I'm going to buy some brick. Let's go ahead and get 2 bricks. Finish the turn. So now I've got 2 bricks, 2 wheats. Got some wine, iron, and cloth. Players start the game with the same set of cards. Every turn, they play 1 card each. Cards allow players to perform actions like building, movement, production, and more. The card display contains cards that can be purchased during the game. There are copies of the starting cards and also new ones. Purchasing cards is an action like any other and can only be performed by playing appropriate cards like Senator. So we can go up here and see those. You can see the name and the symbol of the personality at the top of each card. To buy a card, the player needs to pay the cost of the card and the cost of the slot. So there's a card cost and a slot cost. The player will be reminded how many cards they're allowed to purchase during every buy action. Every card is connected to a deity that grants the player victory points. Once the card is bought, its scoring type will no longer be displayed on the card. You can check it in the My Points panel instead. So up here on the upper left, it looks like got like a little, plant of some kind that you can click on to check. Maybe it's like a laurel, so for victory points. Each scoring type is connected to different aspects of the game. Examples: number of colonists on the board, Mars, or the number of temple cities, Jupiter, etc. Get the right cards for your strategy to win. So this is the big part of the game that when I've played it before, it's a little confusing. It's remembering what each of these different types of scoring cards gain you throughout the game. And like they're saying here, you're going to want to have some kind of strategy in order to win. Because you're going to want to have multiple cards of the same type. So if you're going with the Jupiter strategy, you want to get a lot of Jupiter cards or Saturn cards or whatever strategy it is that you're focusing on. I'm sure they'll explain that a little bit more here as well. Now we're going to play the Senator to buy up to 2 cards and finish our turn. So I'm going to click on the Senator. I'm going to play that card. It's going to let me take a look at the cards that are available here, and we see that there's a draw pile here at the end, and the end of the game, I believe, begins when the draw pile is empty, and all you're left with is what is in the current market to purchase. So we have the Smith card. If I click on it, it's going to tell me here that it's going to produce iron in all of my iron cities whenever I play it, and it's a Minerva card, which is 3 victory points, it looks like, for each iron home in an iron city. There's the colonist card here. Place new colonists in your cities, each for 1 wheat and 1 iron, or take 5 sestertii plus 1 per colonist. Mars, it's a Mars card. You receive 2 victory points for each of your recruited colonists. We have another diplomat. Oh, it's because I'm saying that I've selected those. Okay, so click on it again. Diplomat, use an opponent's personality card on top of their discard pile. Is a Saturnus card. You receive 1 victory point for each province with at least 1 of your houses. There's a lot of provinces in the game, so this is like if you're going to get widespread, if you're going to put a lot of houses out around the board, you can get quite a few points for this. And again, the more Saturnus cards that you've got, it's just like doubling up. So that, that could be your strategies, that you just want to be widespread throughout the map and get points for all of your houses out there. So the Mason card is very much like the Smith card, but it's bricks instead of iron, and you're going to get 3 victory points for each house that's producing brick. Same thing here with the Farmer is wheat, and the mercator card, take 5 sestertii, trade up to 2 types of goods, but again, it's a Mercurius card. You receive 2 victory points for every type of good produced by your houses, excluding salt. Apparently that's going to be for the salsa downloading, so downloading content. All right. So if we're actually going to get some cards here, let's go ahead. And so we don't have, I believe there's one in there in the deck called Vintner, like the Smith. It's for wine, which would have been good since we have a house in a wine district. But let's go and choose a path right now, and it's going to cost a brick and an iron to purchase this card. I do have the brick and the iron to purchase it. This one's going to be wheat and then one of whatever we want for the colonist. The diplomat is going to be an iron and one other thing. So let's go ahead and pick up that one. We're going to pick up iron, and then I choose one other thing. Let's go ahead and choose one other thing to select. We're going to go with the wine. Oh, I think I just screwed up. I only ended up buying one card, which is fine. You don't have to buy two, but you can buy up to two. So I just bought one. That's all right. If you want to get back all of your cards to play them again, use the tribune action. All the cards you have played will return to you, including the tribune, and you will gain 1 Circii for each card returned in excess of 3, including the tribune. In addition, you can recruit 1 colonist in the starting city. Again, that's going to be Roma. Play the tribune card to reclaim all your previously played cards and recruit 1 colonist, then finish your turn. So tribune, play that card. Get all of our cards back, which is great. And then we're going to click on Roma, and let's go ahead and get ourselves another sea colonist. And then we'll end our turn there. So again, we're moving our colonists around the board along these different lines. We're purchasing homes in each of these different cities that produce different types of goods. And once somebody has built a home there, the next person who builds there, it's more expensive for them to build there. Let's see here. The game ends if any of the players fulfill one of the conditions. Purchase the last personality card from the card display. Okay, so it's actually purchasing the last card. Or construct 15 houses. In either case, the player receives the Concordia card, which is worth 7 victory points, and the remaining players get to play their last turn. More detailed rules can be found in the manual. You can always access it from the pause menu or via the question mark icon during the game. And before you begin the game, we suggest you read the descriptions of all your cards. Choose a card to read its description. In addition, note that copies of the same card stack in your hand automatically. All right, well, that's interesting. So I can see that down here where I have a couple of these prefect cards, it looks like. So you now have all the basic info you need to begin playing. Start a new game and build the greatest trade empire of ancient Rome. We're going to go ahead and jump back to the main menu, though, right now. I'm not going to jump into a full game, but that is the basics of this game. Again, the fact that you're moving your colonists around the board, buying houses into these different houses, in these different cities that are part of these different provinces. And there's a ton of different strategies. There's actually a lot to the game that I feel like this basic tutorial does not give you. It's a fairly complex game, though, I think. So, but I do feel like this tutorial is lacking a little bit in detail. I understand it would have been a very difficult tutorial to put together with the way that the rules are. Again, I've played this game, I think, 3 or 4 times now. And every time I play it, I have to kind of readjust or reassess the rules just because I've forgotten something. But the big thing I think to take away is that you're going to be going into these cities. You're going to be building houses so that you can produce more goods. And the more goods you produce, the more cards you're able to purchase, because the cards are the key of this game. You want to pick a strategy and you want to get those cards out of the market into your hand so that at the end of the game, you're going to be able to score a ton of points based off of those cards. It's just there's a lot of different strategies to choose from, and you might have like 2 strategies going, one being your main strategy and another one as kind of a backup to build you up even more points. But you don't want to get to the point where you're not buying cards, because buying cards, building up your hand, is where you will get those points. It gives you the ability to take more of the same kind of action without having to play the tribune card and bringing all your cards back. And it also will help you with scoring. So that is the Concordia Digital Edition tutorial from Ephraim Games, Ephraim Games, and they do really good digital games. Again, my only nitpick here is that I think the tutorial is actually just a little too light. It's a long tutorial, but there's a lot of stuff that I felt like didn't get really explained very well. So you're definitely going to want to then read through the manual or look up a how to play video on the game. I'll be interested to see what it's like to play against the AI versus playing against some of the other guys from Tabletop Gaming Guild. We were all gifted access to this game on Steam, and so hopefully we'll be getting together to play a group game sometime here in the near future. But until then, go ahead and keep on checking out all of our other videos on our YouTube channel. You can always go to tabletopgamingguild.com and check out our podcast and all the other things that we're up to. We review games, board games, digital adaptations, tabletop role-playing games. We also do a lot of playthroughs that you can get on and watch. You can watch one of our latest playthroughs of Ankh, which is another great board game that just came out recently. But yeah, check out all the other videos. Give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and definitely put in some comments on the videos that you like. Let us know what you're thinking. If there's anything you'd like us to talk about more, that'll give us a good idea of what we can do here in some of our upcoming episodes on the podcast, and as well some of the videos that we're putting out. But until we talk again, everybody, keep on playing games.